the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up in the news at noon, after two people nearly drowned in a pool in D.C., safety is now at the forefront of the conversation. A check on their condition this afternoon. And months-long string of retail thefts ends in a half a dozen people arrested. A look at those suspects, plus the latest in the investigation.
And TGIF, we finally made it to Friday. Dry start, but we are tracking some storms in that 7-day. So definitely keep it here. We'll have a check of that coming up.
And later, a heads up, drivers, you could be in for a rate hike on a local toll road. And good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Let's take a live look outside. I believe we are looking at the Kennedy Center. It's not going to be quite as hot as yesterday, but rain could be expected this afternoon. Weathercaster Brittany Ward is in for Damon Matson for a check on the latest forecast. And Brittany, could those showers turn into storms?
Yes, Mark. We are tracking a few storms as we end out your work week, and it looks like those storms are going to be sticking around as we head into the weekend. But as of now, we are dry. Here's a look at radar showing you the past hour. We've been quiet across the DMV. Saw some passing showers just north of Garrett County, making its way into southern Pennsylvania. But here in our area, we are dry, but things will begin to change as we head into the second half of our afternoon. When we talk about those outside temperatures, definitely cooler than we were yesterday. Struggling to get out of the 80s across much of the DMV. 87 there in DC. Lower 90s as you head over there to Frederick. 82 as you head over there to Martinsburg. And dew point temperature is still fairly muggy when you are stepping out the door. So if you are going to be heading out this afternoon, just make sure you are staying hydrated out there. We're seeing those dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s. And usually when we get into that 70 mark, that's when we start to feel that oppressiveness out in the air. So again, be mindful of that. Highs today will be in the lower 90s to upper 80s as you head further off to the west. So again, a little bit cooler today than we were yesterday. When we look ahead to the next 3 days, as we head through your day, we are tracking some isolated afternoon showers. Again, highs will be in the lower 90s. Then we're holding on to the 90s heading into your weekend, but it looks like it's going to be a stormy one. Definitely keep it here. I'll let you know the timing of when these storms will move out coming up.
All right, Brittany, thank you. Well, the family of a man shot and killed by an off-duty police officer is suing the district for $25 million. The wrongful death lawsuit comes after the U.S. Attorney's Office says there was not enough evidence to pursue federal criminal rights charges against the officer. The lawsuit filed this week by the family of Lazarus Wilson claims that D.C. Police Commander Jason Bagshaw left a restaurant at the wharf last summer and shot at Wilson, who was defending himself, and his friend, who was being led to a car by an armed person. The suit says that Wilson and his friend were at the wharf to buy a watch, but two people showed up and assaulted Wilson's friend. We spoke with the family's attorney.
He was trying to prevent himself from being robbed, and instead of Commander Bagshaw assessing that situation, he chose just to take action and shoot someone.
We will continue to fight. We continue to protest. We continue to remember his name.
On the ground, unknown in his condition.
Meantime, then, Police Chief Robert Conte had this to say after Wilson was shot and killed by Bagshaw.
The fact that we have police officers out enjoying a night to themselves with dinner, but yet forsaking all of the fact that they were there for themselves, decided to take action in a situation that could have been very dangerous and deadly for other visitors to that area, I think it says a lot about their character.
Well, Bagshaw was not disciplined by the police department, and the U.S. Attorney's Office said in February that they did not find sufficient evidence to prove that he used excessive force. A hearing has not yet been scheduled after the lawsuit was filed. We haven't received comment from D.C. Police at this hour. Stay with us for more developments. Well, Prince George's County Police released new video this afternoon of suspects wanted in the deadly shooting at a convenience store in Oxon Hill on Tuesday. Take a look. These are the suspects that police are looking for. The victim, 27-year-old D'Angelo Washington. Washington was working at the store at the time of the shooting. Police are asking for the community's help, and they ask you to call PG Crime Solvers if anyone has any information. Well, two people are in critical condition this afternoon after nearly drowning at a pool in Northeast. DC Parks and Rec saying that The pool will be closed today. It happened at the Theodore Hagen's Cultural Center in the Fort Lincoln neighborhood. Our Lex Juarez has the latest.
Well, a community member who knew CPR helped resuscitate the man and the woman, and because of his help, they're alive today. This highlights the importance of knowing CPR.
I'm thankful that I've been able to teach it for 15 years or so, but at the same time, I'm thankful that I knew enough just to be able to do that, just to be able to give folks a chance.
The two people were airlifted to a local hospital in critical condition. According to the CDC, an average of over 4,000 people die from drowning every year. Double that amount end up in the hospital because of a drowning incident. This is why pool rules are important. While the city's Department of Parks and Recreation does have lifeguards on staff, there are measures in place for everyone's safety. Well, this includes making sure kids are supervised by an adult at all times. If a child is younger than 6, pool rules are to have them within arm's length of an adult when they're in the pool. There also needs to be multiple adults present when there are groups of children at the pool together. And as with what we saw yesterday, anyone can drown. It's not just children. That's why it's important to make sure you know the risks, pay close attention to what's going on around you while you're at the pool, and follow all pool rules. In Washington, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Lex, thank you. The World Health Organization is now considering the artificial sweetener aspartame as a possible cause of cancer. The sweetener, commonly found in diet sodas and gum, has been approved by the Food and Drug Administration since 1974. WHO says that aspartame could cause liver cancer based on studies conducted on both humans and animals. However, another study from the FDA found that there is, quote, no convincing evidence that aspartame is a carcinogen if people only eat the recommended amount based on their weight. Well, a half a dozen people, including a 13-year-old, are under arrest. They're accused of stealing from dozens of stores across Maryland and D.C. over a span of months. That includes 11 stores in Montgomery County alone. The crime spanned from April 28th and June 15th across 11 stores in Montgomery County. Daniel Hamburg tells us that those Montgomery County stores lost a total of nearly $50,000.
After 3 months of grabbing and dashing, Montgomery County police say they've taken 6 retail thieves off the streets, most of them teenagers.
They went into Target and they were taking electronics. They went into Ulta and they were taking perfumes and colognes that were of a large dollar amount.
Police say the group includes a 13-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 17-year-old.
We do know that the 17-year-old was the ringleader in this whole operation.
The 17-year-old, being charged as an adult, is being held in jail, as well as 28-year-old Shaquille Pittman. Pittman's sister, 21-year-old Regina Christmas, was arrested last month in D.C. on similar charges, but released by a judge pending an extradition hearing later this month.
They are also responsible for carjackings and armed robberies. So it was very important to us to make sure that we had these individuals apprehended and in custody.
Ulta's losses from these thefts total $78,000. A source with knowledge of the investigation tells DC News Now the suspects hit over 80 stores total in DC, including CVS, with an estimated loss of over $22,000, and Macy's at $24,000.
We do ask that if you see something like this happening in a store, to not try to stop these people. Your life is more valuable than those items.
That was Daniel Hamburg reporting. Well, the cost of your commute in Loudoun County could get pricier. The Australia-based company that owns and operates the Greenway, that stretch of highway that extends beyond the Dulles Toll Road, wants to raise tolls 40% during rush hour. Haley Milan covers Northern Virginia for us and looks into how this could impact your wallet and time.
When I talked to commuters here in Virginia about the Greenway, I got a lot of grimaces, a lot of, ooh, it's too expensive. I try not to take it. And they say that's the catch-22. The county needs to go build and repair free public roads, which leads to a decrease in revenue for the company.
I make sure I plan my day out to take like an extra 20 minutes just to make sure I get around.
Myron Wells avoiding the pricey Greenway commute no matter the lengths. And the trip could get steeper. The Greenway is privately owned by Australia-based Atlas Arteria. They filed a request this week with the State Corporation Commission to hike tolls nearly 40%. Taking the route during peak hours would go from $5.80 to $8.10. That means you take the road daily to and from work during peak hours, you'd be paying nearly $1,200 more per year.
That's insane. That's a lot of money, like $8 just for one way.
In its filing, the company justifies the request by citing significant increases in its debt in coming years and lower than anticipated ridership.
I think the tolls are already too high.
Delegate Suhas Subramaniam says 2021 legislation prevents unjustified rate hikes, requiring State Corporation Commission approval to increase tolls. He says the counties had to improve and add to public roads because people just can't afford the toll.
Of course, that's going to lower ridership, sort of like a chicken or egg situation.
And he thinks things need to backtrack.
Long term, I'd like to see a solution where we're driving down toll rates and we're getting to a place where everyone can afford driving on this road.
There's no date yet on the decision on the requested rate hike. The State Corporation Commission will weigh feedback from community stakeholders before making that call. In Ashburn, Haley Mylon, DC News Now.
Haley, thank you. While the U.S. is seeing record highs in terms of inflation, the price hikes are not really hitting every part of the country in the same way. So Wallet Hub compared data from 23 major metro areas in the U.S. to find where inflation was hitting people's wallets the hardest. They ranked those metro areas based on the change in the Consumer Price Index over the past 2 months, as well as over the past year. Well, taking a look at that list, the D.C. Metro came in at number 11 in terms of highest inflation. The region has seen one of the highest changes in the CPI over the last month at around 0.9%. However, the DMV had one of the lowest changes in CPI over the last year among the cities surveyed at just over 3%. Well, topping that list in Tampa is the Tampa metro area, which has seen really the Consumer Price Index jump by over 7% the last year. And celebrating 86 years in business, Krispy Kreme is offering a deal that you might want to take advantage of. Today, if you buy a dozen glazed donuts, you can get another dozen for just 86 cents, and buyers are limited to 4 dozen when buying in store and just 1 dozen while ordering online, and enter the promo code 86years when you pay on the Krispy Kreme website. In our region, participating stores are located on Connecticut Avenue Northwest, Richmond Highway in Alexandria, and Shady Grove Road in Rockville.